I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, 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 Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like Elvis. I thank God every day I'm not a felon. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy and you probably smell the crooked referees are Roger Goodell. Probably like this and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, 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 Boogie like this and I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media
Network. Welcome. Now rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, where we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports fam. What's poppin', fam? How y'all doing today? Much love to the fam. Please feel free to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Feel free to share the show on your social media feed among the groups. Much love to the fam, man. We in this one talking Alvin Kamara. It is, of course, hump day, and we up in this thing. Let's get a fam a round of applause, man, for being up in this thing. Shout out to you guys, man. Appreciate you, man, for all the support, all the love, the new subscribership family. Welcome to the Great Saint Think Tank, the most intelligent Saints family, most dedicated, most serious Saints family members in the damn world. So shout out to y'all. Appreciate y'all being here as we cover some of this stuff, man. This broke yesterday. We covered some of this on our Patreon special that's on for our YouTube membership and our Patreon champions, man. If you want that, the information in the description section below. It helps out the platform as we continue to build forward. So we'll cover this in this episode of the show. What's interesting is we covered this. We talked about this ad nauseum, man, about what was going on with this Alvin Kamara situation, man. And we knew something was happening. You know, we was looking at what is his defense, what was his thinking, but ultimately cooler heads prevailed. Obviously, the lawyers got involved, said, hey, bro, let's get this crap over with, man, so we can move on to the next thing. So let's kind of go into a report that was put out on this, man. And here we go.
Star NFL running back getting no jail time for last year's brutal beating here in Las Vegas. New Orleans Saints star Alvin Kamara pleading no contest to a misdemeanor today.
The 8 News Now investigators have been all over the story since Kamara's arrest last year. Kyle Payne joining us now with the details. Kyle?
Denise Bryan, first, a warning, some of this video is disturbing. This is another serious high-profile case here in Clark County and another high-profile defendant who won't see jail time. This time, Alvin Kamara wasn't even in court.
Mr. Kamara is not present?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Not present. The NFL superstar Alvin Kamara handing off today's hearing to his attorneys, who emerged from behind closed doors with a friendly deal. Kamara will do no jail time, will pay his victim about $105,000 for past medical expenses, and pay a $500 fine. Plus, he'll do 30 hours of community service, which he has to finish in 90 days. He was initially charged with 2 felonies. Now this will be a misdemeanor charge for breach of peace.
Let's go. Like, you gotta this right now.
Putting an end to the criminal matter that left this victim with his face beaten so badly that it broke the bone around his eyeball. And he had to have shoulder surgery.
I kind of figured, they got into some trouble and they're just trying to get away from it.
In an exclusive interview with 8 News Now investigator David Charnes, Kamara's driver explained the aftermath of the beating.
It was so fast-paced. It was so quick. Just me looking at him like, to me, it's just like, wow.
Wow is also a good word to describe some of what Kamara and his co-defendants, who also took similar plea deals with no jail time, were saying that night. In more video first obtained by 8 News Now.
Hey, I'm looking at him. I'm thinking he know her. Next thing I hear is, what?
Here you hear Kamara sitting behind the driver, making what prosecutors refer to as an admission of guilt.
I connected with that Johnson. I saw you connect.
These videos were key evidence prosecutors used in getting a grand jury to indict Kamara and the others for that 4-on-1 beating and stomping, but now it's case closed.
Court would then honor a request to close the case.
Police arrested 3 other men for that beating, including fellow NFL player Chris Lamons, who's a free agent. Those 3 took similar plea deals. None will do any jail time. We asked Kamara's lawyer for a statement or comment, and we didn't hear from them by the time of this broadcast. The NFL sent me a statement which reads, quote, "We have been closely monitoring all developments in the matter, which remains under review." Denise.
All right, Kyle, thanks for that. We can also tell you that on Instagram today, the victim's attorney announced that his $10 million civil lawsuit has been settled. Those terms, though, are confidential. You can see more on this story and Kamara's written up.
All right, so there you go. So there you go. That's the bulk of this. The stuff is official is behind us, and what an expensive lesson it is for Alvin Kamara. A very expensive lesson, and the guy got broke off. Wow, a very expensive lesson, but nonetheless, the man pleaded out, no jail time. NFL said that they monitoring the situation, so discipline will be impending. Now, what's the time frame on that? We don't know. It can happen anywhere between now and somewhere between the start of the season. So we'll be monitoring those events. So this is just an article right here that's basically saying the similar things as the video report was indicating with Alvin Kamara moving forward. So after all of this is said and done, and it was done, let's move on into what is the next move right now as the Saints were prepared for this. This happened during the Pro Bowl. The Saints had plenty of opportunity and time to be able to find out which direction that the team wanted to go in terms of addressing the situation dealing with the running back room. And the Saints, they did just that. They done a wonderful job of fortifying the running back room for now and into the future. So shout out to them for that. So let's jump right into Saints backfield options with Kamara's clarity and focus. Shout out to Bob doing his work here for Saints News Network with some further clarification on Kamara's situation, but still waiting on the official NFL punishment. Is a look at the options now once the suspension becomes official. So with all that out of the way, what's next for the black and gold? Legal saga of Saints running back is finally nearing the end. Kamara surprisingly pleaded no guilty. We heard all of that kind of stuff. He had a plea agreement. We knew the particulars of the deal, but the NFL said they were monitoring. So what does all this mean for Kamara and the Saints on the football field? The baseline suspension for the violation for the NFL's personal conduct policy in a situation like this calls for a suspension of 4 to 6 games, with the league office reserving the right to lengthen or reduce the suspension. So that's very interesting, because and like we said, I don't like Roger Goodell, and a lot of people don't like Roger Goodell, right? A lot of people don't like him. But we do understand that when you give a guy who don't like you bullets, eventually he's going to get enough balls to start shooting at you sooner or later. So very not too smart thing there, but ultimately the man got through with it, and listen, ain't none of my money going to him. That is a very expensive lesson to learn, and we know AK-41 is a smart dude. The dude just like I said, he just got caught out there. The dude caught him out there for real, man, and that's pretty much what the hell it was, fam. He got caught out there. He got caught out there. The man caught him slipping, and that's how it went, man. You gotta be careful when you're out here in these streets like this. They'll have guys that have an opportunity, and that guy had a massive payday because of this. So $10 million settlement case. Busby, who was the guy that went against Deshaun Watson when he was dealing with the issues dealing with the case that he was dealing with the masseuses or the massage women, that were all that kind of stuff. He got them broke off, and that was his lawyer. So at the end of the day, with all that behind us, 4 to 6 games is with the league office is reserving the right to lengthen or reduce suspension. Kamara also has the right to appeal the punishment set forth by the league. Given the timing of the situation, there is no reason why a suspension to Kamara shouldn't take effect to start the year, barring the appeal. So That's what it basically comes down to. 4 to 6 games of the season there. So New Orleans prepared in the offseason for a Kamara suspension. They also fortified the depth chart behind him. But before we even get to that, let's take a look at the schedule, right? This is the schedule. This is the schedule as it stands for the black and gold going into the season, right? We got the preseason stuff. So if it's 4 to 6 games, what we basically looking at, family, is a month and a half worth of games. Worst case, and let's say it's between 4 to 6. It's a month worth between a month and a half, right? Best case scenario, 4 games. Worst case scenario, more games, 6 games. 4 games would be week 1 at home against the Titans. He'll miss that one. The 2 away games, September the 18th at Carolina and September the 24th at Green Bay. He'll miss them, those 2. He'll miss the home matchup against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He'll miss that one for 4 games. 6 games, he misses the October 8th game against the Patriots at Patriots, and then he'll miss the October the 15th matchup at Houston. So, worst case scenario will be up to the Texans matchup. Will miss Kamara. If it's a month worth of contest, Tennessee, Panthers, Packers, Bucks. And then, of course, Patriots, Texans, which, if you think about it, you look at some of those teams and you kind of say, man, listen, we should be able to beat the Titans. You should be able to beat the Panthers. You should be able to beat the Packers. You should be able to beat the Buccaneers. You should be able to beat the Patriots, and you damn sure should be able to beat the Texans. But, you can't look at last year's teams and say, oh, yeah, they're a given. But truthfully and honestly, what the Saints have assembled, they should be in these games and should have at least 5 wins, 5, maybe 5-1, or at the least 4-2. It shouldn't be no 3-3. That shouldn't be shaken. But before we even prophesy on something like that, this is what it could be. So that's the 4 games that he could miss: the Titans, Panthers, Packers, Bucks. 4 game suspension, 6 games at the Patriots and the Texans. So he should be back in time for the Thursday night matchup, October the 19th, against the Jacksonville Jaguars, depending. So usually when you're thinking about a clown like Roger Goodell, usually it's going to be heavy-handed. It's going to be heavy-handed because that's what he does. He doesn't like the Saints, and when people screw up on the Saints team, Goodell comes and he hammers you very heavy-handedly. That's what he does. So anyway, let's get back to that. Just wanted to sprinkle some game with you. Saints prepared in the offseason for Kamara's suspension. They also fortified the depth chart behind him. A glaring team weakness the last 2 years. Here's a look at the Saints running back room just 2 weeks before the start of the training camp. Man, I can't wait. Alvin Kamara, of course, when the season started, he's not going to be there, but we expect him to be at training camp getting ready. Kamara is always ready, man. He can play football right now if you need him. He's in football shape right now. That's how good he is. Jamal Williams behind AK-41, Kendre Miller, rookie 3rd rounder. Jamal Williams, 17 rushing touchdowns in the NFL. A lot of that came in the red zone. And he had no problem finding the end zone, has excellent vision to find and peek between holes where he needs to do, and runs hard as a son bitch. Just to be honest with you. He runs very hard, very difficult guy to pull down. And him and Alvin Kamara will be a great tandem of backs for the Saints. Could be very well, if they stay healthy, I ain't going to say better than Mark Ingram and Alvin Kamara was, but Jamal Williams is closer to Kamara's age, and those two right now, have the similar personality, 2 high energy guys, very good players. And we're just incredibly fortunate in the Who Dat Nation, and give a big shout out to Mickey Loomis and Dennis Allen for getting Jamal Williams away from the Detroit Lions. I just can't overemphasize how big of a move that is. Very big move. These are the players, and I would do a show with 3 players that I believe will be at the end of the season. We're going to be like, man, getting Jamal Williams was huge for the Saints. You can see that before the season starts. That was a huge, huge move to get. We were thinking to get a guy like this, but Jamal Williams can start for other people right now, man. He can start for them right now, and we have him as our second running back comboing with Alvin Kamara. The Saints are incredibly fortunate to have that. Then, of course, you look at Kendre Miller, who was a 3rd-round draft pick rookie out of TCU. He had 16 rushing touchdowns last year in college for a very competitive TCU club. Kendre Miller is special. Big running back, runs with power, has excellent vision, man. Excellent vision, man. Just able to run inside, outside. He uses his stiff arm, runs with power, and he has an extra gear. So having Jamal Williams and Kendre Miller, that's 2 power guys with speed component to them. That'll help us out. Love that. That is a strong running back room for the Saints. And of course, Eno Benjamin is another. He's a scat back type, satellite back type running back the Saints have here. He did a few things for the Saints last year. He's an interesting veteran player there. And Eno Benjamin is a guy that can help you. He catches the ball out the backfield very well, like a wide receiver, scat back with a lot of speed, has a little degree of, he has a degree of power. I've seen him lower his shoulder, not afraid of the contact, but he's a guy with flashes a lot of athleticism and speed to his game and catches the ball like a wide receiver out the backfield. So you have some variety of different talented players. Alvin Kamara, all-world. Jamal Williams is fantastic. Kendre Miller is awesome. And Eno Benjamin's another guy. Then, of course, we have Ellis Merriweather, who's an undrafted rookie. The Saints added to the running back room as well. He probably ended up on the practice squad, barring injuries. But if you watch footage, we showed some of Ellis Merriweather's film on our Patreon channel. And when we did our film work, and you see Ellis Merriweather runs very aggressively. He runs hard as hell, man. He's one of them old school style running backs that'll hit your ass and drop you and run over you. That's what Ellis Merriweather like. He initiate contact, a very violent running back, and he's the type of dude that kind of reminds me like of a Mike Bell. Y'all remember Mike Bell? And we used to love that. The New Orleans Saints family base love running backs that run with power. We love that. We love that. We loved watching guys like Mike Bell crush linebackers and defensive backs when he got to the 3rd level. Ellis Merriweather's a brutal running back, man, out of a small school, but he is big time. He is big time in terms of his power, and the Saints see that. He'll probably end up stashed on the practice squad. And, of course, 2 of our fullbacks right there, Jake Bogus is our backup fullback competing with Adam Prentice for that position. So Bogus is an old school bust you in your mouth style fullback, same as Prentice. And it's good to see the Saints providing competition at every room. You know, I remember Adam Prentice really, I think it was last year, he really didn't have much of nobody competing with him. Really, I've been pushing this for a while. Justin Ustrick, what's his name? Ustrick. Y'all can correct me in the chat. The fullback for the 49ers. I've been advocating, say, man, could we get another Heath Evans type fullback or Ustruck type fullback that can bring versatility to the fullback room? He could be a guy that not only plays fullback, but you can use him as an H-back. You can use him as a tight end if you need to. Now, I remember Coach Payton tried to do that. He just didn't have enough patience to stick with it when we brought in what's your boy from the Carolina Panthers, man. Then he ended up going to the Commanders. And I think he's still over there right now. We brought him in from Carolina. And Coach Payton, I see what Coach Payton trying to do, because that was at the time, I think, that year, his last year, he was trying to get some versatility at the fullback position, because you have versatility all over the field. Why not in the fullback room to have a fullback that does more than just be a fullback? And, he tried to bring in, I forgot the man's name. Y'all put it in the section, but it was cool to see him attempt to do that. So it'll be cool to have that. But Adam Prentice and Jake Bogus is 2 old school fullback type guys, man. That's really interesting. It'll be cool to see Jake Bogus unseat Prentice. I'll be kind of really vote for Bogus, man, just because I like his name. He got an old school kick you in the teeth, old school NFL films type name. You want a fullback on your team named Jake Bogus. So yeah, that's some of the stuff, man, as we keep it going. So Williams, 4th round pick in 2017, ended up draft by the Packers out of BYU, where he was a teammate of Taysom Hill. Speaking of guys who can operate in the running back room, he's coming off a career best, over 1,000 yards rushing, 17 rushing touchdowns with the Lions. 17 high TDs. That's amazing. Williams is proven more than capable of carrying the backfield load. Absolutely. Kendre Miller was solid in his first 2 years of shared backfield duties at TCU, rushing for a combined. Look at them numbers. Them 4-1s, 1,111 yards in 2020. And in 2021, he erupted for TCU last season, rushing for almost 1,400 yards. And I said 17 scores. Miller doesn't have the breakaway speed, but possesses extra vision and balance along with nice bursts to get in the open space. That's absolutely true. You watch the film, and we did our film work on our Patreon channel. He does show you he has an extra gear. It ain't no Alvin Kamara gear, but he does have an extra gear. Neither Williams nor Miller has been used much as receivers, an area where Kamara is the league's best hirer. Both have shown themselves be adequate pass catchers out of the backfield and excellent runners after the catch. Yeah, indeed. And that's true. The reality is, like, you've seen them operate the screen. So they'll dump it down to Kendre Miller when he's with TCU, and he was able to use vision. And that's the thing I notice about him is he's a very special running back, that he has the ability. He's very patient, and his eyes quick. When he'll work behind his running. Like, you'll see some runners or run over their own offensive lineman. Y'all they'll contribute to the injury. They will run over their own offensive lineman. Not Kendre Miller. Kendre Miller will be patient enough. He stays behind his blockers and waits for the proper time to jump from behind them to make a move. He's smart. You understand? Them big horses out there, they're in front of you for a reason. They had to keep them other guys on you, so you stay back there as long as you can until you can, and then you take the hell off, So anyway, he seems unlikely to figure in the backfield plans, but he could give the team some quality plays if he makes the team. And his experience gives him an edge over Vargas. And they're talking about, and he's considering Vargas as a running back, but he's actually a fullback. And then Merriweather, an undrafted rookie who runs hard as hell. Y'all got to watch the film. That's his number one thing. I think that's why the Saints love him. Williams and Miller look more than capable of handling the backfield duties if Kamara is suspended for a short stint. However, what if the league suspends the star back for a lengthy stretch? If so, here's some talented and experienced backs still available in the free agent market. So if the case is what Bob is throwing out there is, if it's a situation where the Saints lose him we thinking 4 to 6 games, but what if it's more than that? What if it's for half the season? I don't think it'll be a full season. But what if it's half the season? What if it's for 8 or 9 games? Can the Saints be good with what they have? I think they could, but this is just an idea of guys on the market right now that you're looking at. Delvin Cook, which I don't think this happens because I think Delvin Cook, wants to be somewhere. Could you imagine Delvin Cook, Alvin Kamara, and that wouldn't be fair. They would literally block this. They would literally block this. They would not allow Delvin Cook. They'll file up the paperwork and say, oh, yeah, you misspelled this right here. Oh, you got to kick the paperwork out. They would literally block Delvin Cook, Alvin Kamara, Jamal Williams, Kendre. Are you kidding me? So I don't think Delvin, I would love to see that. Don't get me wrong. Kareem Hunt's interesting. You see him, Kenyon Drake. We had some flirtations with Kenyon Drake in the past. Leonard Fournette, Marlon Mack. We've been advocating for Marlon Mack for a long time. I just think Marlon Mack is such a terrific running back. He's healthy now and still young at 27 years old. Marlon Mack can really help, man. That kind of takes us back in the day. If we get a Mack on our team, it'd be like first time in a while since we had like Milton Mack. Y'all remember that? That's old school name for your ass right there, Milton Mack. Okay. J.D. McKissick and Benny Snell. Remember Benny Snell played for Kentucky. He's a pretty decent young running back there. So that's a few of them. Now, Cook is the most accomplished of these free agents after he was his release from Minnesota, but he won't be a Saint. He'll sign as a featured back and was never a serious option for New Orleans unless perhaps Kamara was suspended for the year. Now, Hunt and Drake are two quality backs who sat behind the better players and haven't gotten many touches in recent seasons. Both are unselfish and would be effective in backup duties. Either player has the versatility to be productive in the New Orleans Saints system. A New Orleans local and former LSU star, still hard to envision Leonard Fournette in a Saints uniform. This could be a good thing, though. I would love to see Leonard Fournette in a Saints uniform, But does it happen now? It's just, we had an opportunity when they released him from Jacksonville. It's like, go and get him. And Peyton just like, nope, and just sat there. I was like, sign him just so Tampa Bay couldn't get him. And then he come back and kill us in the playoff game. So it's a pass, but you kind of 2020, right? So anyway, as we keep it going. So hard to envision Fournette in the Saints uniform. But however, he's a quality back who would be productive threat if he's willing to accept a reduced role. Now, J.D. McKissick is a receiving back most effective in passing situations. Mack had a terrific production in 2018, 2019, but hasn't been the same since his Achilles injury. Snell is limited, could be an effective short yardage back. So, yes, indeed. Remember that Kamara won't take up a roster spot. He says, remember that Kamara won't take up a roster spot during that suspension, allowing the Saints to sign another player. Would it be a running back? It is possible, but would it depend on the length of Kamara's suspension plus the health of and effectiveness of Williams and Miller? Remember that Taysom Hill also gives the team another running threat and will be used in various roles. That's why I kind of look at the running back, the free agent running back option as like, I don't think so. I don't think that happens unless injuries start really impacting the Saints running back room. Then you can look at them looking to lesser names on that list. And, it's kind of hard to envision Leonard Fournette being here, even though it would be super cool to have Leonard Fournette as a New Orleans Saint, being that he was local New Orleans star, LSU star, won a championship with Tampa Bay. Then he kind of on the back end of his career put on the black and gold just for that name's sake. He could still give you something in supply with a combination of backs. People saying Q, he washed. But he can still contribute to the room, man. He can still contribute. He can. But unless injuries severely jump in the Saints running back room, I don't anticipate them going there and getting these top higher names on the free agent hierarchy that Bob was running down. They would simply use a Taysom Hill in the role like they've been using Taysom. He's basically a running back anyway. Most of his production comes via him turning into a running back when he's behind and when he's in the quarterback position. He adjusts to being a running back and he starts running the ball. That's the best thing Taysom does in terms of what he brings to the offense. So Alvin Kamara is still a huge key to the Saints offense. The team could bring in another back to bolster depth chart depending on the length of his pending suspension. However, the Saints were prepared for this eventuality and added enough backfield talent to keep their offense on track with or without them. So shout out to my guy, Bob Rose at the Saints News Network, and listen to his fantastic show too, the Bayou Blitz podcast. Love Bob, man. He's a terrific dude. He tells it like it is, man. And to me, he's one of the best ones out there covering the Saints. Always tells it like it is. Professional to the core. So shout out to Brother Bob. But yeah, this is some of the stuff, man, we covering today. With Alvin Kamara facing his legal issues, it's over with. Now these are the options facing the black and gold headed into the season. Wasn't a bad idea to kind of take a peek at it and see with Kamara and all these guys there. And this is just the guys that's listening in the running back room here. So the Saints have done a phenomenal job. So even if Kamara is out for 4 games or 6 games, perhaps 8 games or half the season, depending on what Roger the Skunk Goodell does, I can't really be mad at Goodell because Kamara kind of did this to himself. But at the end of the day, like I said, better decisions need to be made. It's an expensive price to pay to hand over $10 million for a boneheaded decision. We could have just simply turned the other way or just had security there. Could have kept my $10 million in my pocket. Very expensive lesson, man. And this is, and hey, for all our rest of our football players out here, the young guys from in college and high school that watch the show, let this be a learning lesson because you guys are the future. And sooner or later, you're going to be in the NFL. Remember these lessons, man, and learn, because if anything, Alvin Kamara is teaching you some game right now, to be honest with you. Boy, is that an expensive lesson. $10 million plus all the stuff you got to do for a bad decision, baby. That's tough. All right, so anyway, that'll do it for the stream, man. Much love to the fam. I appreciate y'all for tuning in for this episode of the show. And listen, please feel free to do your boy a favor. Please feel free to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button, light up all the buttons, light them all up. And also feel free to share the show on your social media feed. I always say that because it really helps. And also, that's what it is. And you can feel free to join our email list too, family. Join our email list. Before the season or during the season, we're going to be emailing people on our email list, discounts on merch, all kind of fun and cool stuff we're going to be coming up with for our email listers, man. So if you want to be a part of some of the contests and stuff that we be running, join that email list, man. We'll be giving free goodies and all that stuff through that email list. So just a way to kind of give an incentive for family members to join our email list because, things happen here. So anyway, with that being said, I'm gonna get out on that. Listen, I appreciate y'all, man. I hope y'all having a fantastic hump day. We over the hump. It's Thursday, Friday, heading into the weekend, man. And we gonna be doing it, baby. So with that being said, let me get on that. I appreciate y'all. Much love, and who that too.
Yeah. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like Alvin. I thank God every day I'm not a felon. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your chain for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy, then you probably smell the crooked referees or Roger Goodell. Yeah, funny like this, and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like this, and I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Platform's store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description.